Beyond the Gates spoilers for Monday, September 8th hint at some explosive moments as violence will erupt at the cabin where Chelsea Hamilton is being held hostage, and Ted Richardson sports a new attitude. The new CBS soap is finally returning with new episodes as the week of September Worst 5 was filled with reruns. The last fans saw of Chelsea, she was chained to a bed in a weird cabin out in the middle of nowhere as her ex-girlfriend, Allison, was able to kidnap her and was holding her hostage there. As the Dupree family, more specifically, Jacob Hawthorne and Catherine Kate Richardson, are desperately trying to rescue Chelsea, she's sure to arrive back in Fairmont Crest safe and sound at some point during the week of September 8 to 12. Still, not without having to deal with more trauma along the way, as BTG spoilers do imply that Allison will pull a knife on Chelsea during the September 8th episode. It looks like Chelsea will be able to ward off her crazy stalker without getting too hurt, but just how will she be able to protect herself against the unhinged Allison, considering she's chained to a bed? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Over in Fairmont Crest, Leslie Thomas will be completely caught off guard and feel as if her entire world has been flipped upside down. During the week of August 25-29, Ted had promised Leslie that he'd give her his family home. He seemed sincere when he said he wanted Eva Thomas and Lalise to have a house they could call home. But Beyond the Gates fans know the entire story was just lip service to stop her from buying the mansion across from the Dupree family. Leslie will likely realize she's been duped on Monday's show, and it sounds like the baddie will get overly emotional about what Ted's done. Sure, he pulled off quite the scheme, so it sounds like Leslie can dish out the manipulative mind games, but can't take it when the tables are turned on her. Regardless, Eva will see a new side to her father after Monday's show. So will she approve of his antics, or be disgusted by the lengths he went to keep her mom out of Fairmont Crest? Ted's move may derail the growing bond he's developed with his long-lost daughter. The main reason he did so was to try and appease Nicole Richardson by getting Leslie to back off on buying the mansion near her parents' place. Beyond the Gates, spoilers imply this plot may backfire on Ted, as he likely won't get any thanks from Nicole, but also create a wedge between him and Eva too. Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama. All right, Beyond the Gates fans. We're into the weekend, and that means the last 5 episodes of repeats are behind us, and fresh Fairmont Crest fare is just in front of us. But with the delicious denseness of the relatively new soap's storylines, the way they're weaving together their full canvas is most tantalizing. It's easy to forget some story points that were brought up but have yet to see their day. Thankfully, while we're still in this pause, we can take a moment to mentally scan what went before and go, whatever happened to that? For this purpose, that refers to some utterances from our Miss Nicole that issued forth from her perfectly Maybellined lips and disappeared into the ether. Let's do this! Now, let's be fair, Nicole Dupree Richardson has had a lot on her plate. The spate of reruns we had last week alone detailed how the eldest Dupree daughter's marriage hit the ultimate skids when Leslie spilled every single drop of tea about Ted's long-ago affair with her, and how Eva was born as a result. So it's not unreasonable that Nicole has been rather preoccupied. She's had to deal with Ted's lame excuses and even lamer attempts at reconciliation, Leslie crowing up in her face, and repeated realizations that her family is surprisingly good at ensuring she's the last to know pretty much anything. You can't blame a girl for sulking. Nikki's getting her groove back, though, between chucking cups, throwing divorce parties, and dating up that hunky AF Carlton. She finally got off the pot and served Ted with some much-deserved dissolution of marriage documents, even if he's trying some last-minute-ish to stall them. Unfortunately, outside of giving her son Martin therapy for the undealt with trauma of giving Kenneth good face with his fists, Dr. Richardson's soon-to-be Dupree again has been rather one-track-minded, to the detriment of supposedly dear original assistant Laura Peterson, on whose behalf Nicole made some important but forgotten vows. It took a while for Nicole to get on the ball, but she finally stepped up where Laura was concerned Once the poor girl was about to be released from the hospital after recuperating from her mysterious car accident, only to be felled by an even more mysterious heart attack and resulting infection that kept her laid up even longer. Finding it hella odd that Laura's potassium level would suddenly spike up so high that it would stop her heart, Nicole smelled a rat, and the rat smelled a lot like Leslie once Laura reported that Dana, Leslie, Lash, Sherry, Lush Anna, Lulu had stopped by her room. Nicole all but held up her right hand in a Boy Scout salute when she promised Laura that, no matter what she had to do, she would get to the bottom of how Laura had gotten so much potassium into her system. Then Kat, with the aid of sidekick Mona, who was desperate to redeem herself after recommending that Eva take over for the recuperating Laura in Nicole's office, got her hands on Leslie's motorcycle jacket. The garment literally had the receipts, ones that connected Leslie to the night of Laura's sideswiping, if indirectly. Suspecting Leslie's involvement as much as the others, Nicole was about it and joined in on Mona and Kat's pact to search for more evidence against Leslie and Ernest. Has Nicole done either of these things? If you answered no, you win a one-night guest pass to the Fairmont Crest Country Club. It's just that Gates has been good enough with its details these past 6.5 months that it's amazing these two giant plot points fell through the cracks as if said country club descended into a sinkhole. The only tasks Nicole has completed where Leslie is concerned is ascertaining that Leslie's neck abrasion was crafted from the best dollar store cosmetics, and choking a bitch, Leslie in this case, which is how Leslie had any bruising to work from in the first place. One wonders why it was written that Nicole put herself on the case of Laura's excess potassium and on the hunt for more concrete proof of Leslie's guilt in the 2 attacks against Laura, only for Nicole to do, well, nothing about either. All right, when you're running a show with 20 contract players and even more recurring characters, things are going to get overlooked. But these story directions were major. For Nicole to make such big proclamations about advocating for Laura and then not act on them, instead focusing solely on her own troubles, let's face it, kinda makes her seem rather selfish, does it not? Maybe Laura, who herself is a bit AWOL at the moment, should look into finding a more caring employer. What do you think, lovers of Fairmont Crest? Did the show drop the ball by not building on the idea of Nicole taking a more proactive role in taking Leslie down? Or do you feel like it's maybe more like real life, where we say we're going to do something and then get distracted with life stuff that comes up? Do your own follow-through in the comments below. Soap fans love a good mess. Part of what makes daytime drama so addicting is the unexpected couples, big secrets, and shocking twists. And even as a new soap, Beyond the Gates is no exception. Fans are already hoping for some messy drama, and a popular theory is that Kat and Jacob will somehow hit the sheets, or at least they hope so. They've been in each other's orbits for a while now, not just because he's her cousin's husband, but also because they've worked closely together investigating Leslie and dealing with the recent kidnapping of Kat's cousin Chelsea. While chemistry is subjective, fans can't help but acknowledge the undeniable spark that might just exist between the two. Added to that is the fact that Kat seems to have no enjoyment in the romantic aspect of her relationship with her boyfriend, Tomas. This could be a very messy situation, but isn't that what soaps are all about? Given that Kat has been a bit of a goody two-shoes, having her fall into a mess she probably never thought she would is a great twist. She's called out Eva and even refused to forgive her for her scheming ways, even after learning they have the same blood running through their veins via their dad, Ted Richardson. So, are you in support of this messy drama? Would you ship Jacob and Kat if Beyond the Gates ever went there? Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of September 8-12 hint that Chelsea Hamilton will have a shaky return to safety, while Derek Baldwin will have a dark secret he's harboring. Things will get far worse before they get better for poor Chelsea, as things at the cabin will get chaotic. Allison will turn violent and pull a knife on Chelsea, but somehow and some way, Chelsea will finally escape her situation and come back to Fairmont Crest, safe but slightly traumatized. In fact, in the aftermath of her rescue, she'll make a rash decision that shocks Catherine "Kat" Richardson. What could this be about? Meanwhile, Kat will deal with some drama of her own when she sees two different twosomes getting closer, and she'll be upset at witnessing both couples bond. Could this be about Thomas Navarro and Eva Thomas? Then again, Kat's mom, Nicole Richardson, has also been getting closer to Carlton Fitzgerald, so Kat could get a bird's-eye view of those two flirting too. Elsewhere, Haley Hamilton will be fed up with how Bill Hamilton has continued to push her aside. Chelsea getting kidnapped has changed the game between him and Danny Dupree, so watching her husband pander to his ex-wife and the Duprees will have Haley frustrated. Speaking of Bonnie, Naomi Hawthorne will see a moment between her parental units that rubs her the wrong way. Will the two share another embrace, or possibly a lip lock? In related news, Danny will confess her feelings to Vanessa McBride, and whatever she says will have the high-end real estate rep running to current side piece, Joey Armstrong. What's this all about? Across town, Beyond the Gates spoilers indicate that Leslie Thomas will be completely caught off guard by something during the week of September 8 to 12. It sounds like the offer Ted Richardson gave her about moving into his family home will be taken off the table. Ted just did this to stop Leslie from buying that mansion across the street from the Dupree family, so she'll be stunned that Ted duped her. With that said, Eva will see a new side to her dad. But will she approve of this? Or will she be disgusted? Interestingly enough, as the days go by, Ted will be looking for a reward for what he's done to Leslie from Nicole. However, he'll be waiting a long time. So much so, he'll confront his estranged wife, so it sounds like the two will have another face-off. As the week progresses, Samantha Richardson will scheme, but as she's a pretty good kid, will her plotting be to help Bradley Smitty Smith and Martin Richardson reconnect? They will get closer as the days go by, so that should make their daughter happy. Finally, Derek will keep a secret. Is he exaggerating his condition for Ashley Morgan's sake? She has been dotting a lot on the firefighter as of late. Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of September 8-12 reveal that Ashley will make a bold move by the time the weekend hits. So could she lean toward a reunion with Derek? You made it! We've reached week of repeats of Beyond the Gates, which means the next time we see the Duprees, extended and otherwise, it will be in new scenes. Bring on episode 124. Of course, that means we're still processing any number of the show's previous 123 installments on one level or another. And with such a rich, intricate tapestry being woven before our very eyes, there are inevitably questions floating about our soapy brains. So, before we get caught back up on Monday, why don't we pick apart one of these queries and see if we can make it make sense? More specifically, should Smitty be considering more during his separation from Martin than just the congressman's deception over Kenneth and the hate crime the now-deceased tormentor perpetrated? In mid-July, investigative reporter Smitty finally got the real scoop about why husband Martin was having all those nightmares. Martin had disfigured a man and killed another trying to protect Vernon during a hate crime. Smitty's immediate response was to kick Martin out of their brownstone. But Mr. Smith wasn't pissed that Mr. Richardson had committed these acts of violence. If anything, Smitty felt horrible for what Martin had gone through, and for what he'd had to do to stop Kenneth and his brother. It was that Martin had spent 2 years lying his face off about it all, and that his ever-compounding fabrications had put adopted kiddos Tyrell and Samantha in danger. Given how quickly soap couples get over the most egregious infractions and then lather each other in forgiveness, often moving on as if nothing happened, it's been heartening that, as of the end of August, where we left off, Smitty is only just barely feeling the pull toward a reunion. Martin's back at home because of Cecile and Ron, Samantha and Tyrell having biomom June returning to their lives, but Smitty's got the dude on the couch. Before Smitty leaves a path of rose petals back up to their bedroom, he might want to take a good, hard look at his marriage and decide if this guy is worth taking back. Plenty has been discussed and debated about Martin's multiple levels of deceit regarding that awful night on that dark road, and why he kept those events from Smitty. So let's table that very visible elephant in the room. It's Martin's other actions toward Smitty that the journalist should be concerned with. Speaking of that career, Smitty wouldn't have come to enjoy it again after years of being a house husband if Martin had had his way. Smarty Marty not only demanded that Smitty continue staying home, just taking care of the kids, like some gay version of being barefoot and pregnant. He actively worked against his husband's ambitions. Sure, maybe Martin didn't want Smitty to resume being a newshound because he was afraid Smitty would hound himself into the news of Martin rearranging Kenneth's face. But still, the politician was stone cold. The way he learned it that Smitty had a job offer and then went to the prospective employer to tell him Smitty wasn't interested. That's not leaving the toilet seat up stuff. That's your never getting out of the doghouse stuff. After Leslie blew up his parents' marriage, Martin wanted to know where Ted had slithered off to, but he couldn't get anything out of Smitty. Later, when Smitty admitted that Vernon had implored him not to give away Ted's location, Martin walked out on him. Then, when Tyrell was being cyberbullied at his school because an embarrassing photo of him had gotten around, Martin went to Tyrell's principal without Smitty beside him. In fact, Smitty had all but begged Martin to stay away from the educational facility and let Tyrell navigate his way through the dilemma himself. Communication only seems to be important to Martin when it's him delivering stump speeches to his constituents, not when it comes to dealing with everyday marital and family matters. Do we even need to address Martin deciding to go full speed into running for president and not bothering to tell Smitty about it? The lawmaker says Smitty's opinions and feelings matter to him, especially since he's been camping out at his grandparents' pad, but his actions say something completely different. Finally, Smitty should be very worried about Martin's temper. And again, this is outside of Martin having to defend himself while he and Vernon were being assaulted. Martin didn't mean to kill Kenneth's brother, and one could even write off Martin beating Kenneth's face in as a heat-of-the-moment action. But Martin has been shown to have a short fuse ever since we met him. He had to be physically restrained from attacking both Bill and Leslie on separate occasions, and Martin violently shoved Ted when the truth of his infidelity came out. Plus, Martin chucked books all over the room, alarming Smitty. And let's not forget Martin curving his hands in an air chokehold while telling Smitty how much he wanted to strangle Bill. None of this is coming out in the wake of Smitty's estrangement from Martin, and it needs to. Doesn't it seem like Smits would be far better off following in Nicole's footsteps and getting himself a divorce? Sure, there are children involved, but Tyrell will be a legal adult next year, with Samantha only a year behind. They're old enough to handle it, and even Kat said her own brother doesn't deserve Smitty. Run over to the Fairmont Crest Country Club, Bradley. Maybe that hunky personal trainer Diego swings both ways. What do you guys think? Is Martin really not all that bad? Or should Smitty only see him in divorce court? Is there a way the soap's only gay marriage can be worked out? Or does it send a much healthier message for Smitty to take care of himself first? File your report in the comments below. BTG spoiler alert. Here are your Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of Monday, September 8th to Friday, September 12th, 2025. Be sure to tune in to CBS every weekday to see how everything plays out in Fairmont Crest. The hostage situation takes a violent turn. Leslie gets the rug pulled out from under her. Eva sees a new side of her father. Anita and Vernon worry they pushed the limits for one of their own. Naomi doesn't like what she sees where her parents are concerned. Tomas is asked to battle the Duprees. The kidnapper makes a bizarre request. Ted confronts Nicole when his efforts aren't rewarded. Smitty and Martin reconnect while another couple inches closer to each other. Chelsea shocks her cousin with an abrupt decision. Haley is fed up with Bill, pushing her aside. Danny confides in Vanessa about her feelings, which prompts Vanessa to see Joey. Derek is harboring a secret. Samantha schemes Kat spies two duos in close moments, and she's upset by both. Ever since Beyond the Gates premiered in February, fans have been piecing together theories about its most mysterious characters, and none more so than Andre Richardson. Now, fans have a bold theory. What if Andre's supposedly dead father isn't actually gone? And what if he's played by Lorenz Tate? What we do know is that Andre was orphaned at a young age. This is after his parents were killed in a tragic plane crash. But what if Andre's dad wasn't actually gone? Sure, he's supposed to be dead. But hey, this is a soap opera. We all know anything can happen. And fans already have strong opinions about who should play him. Andre, introduced early in the show, is a professional photographer with the smooth charisma of a playboy. His charm and affluent lifestyle have made him a standout in the gated community's social scene. But beneath that polished exterior, there's an undeniable air of mystery. His elusive nature often sparks questions about his true intentions. After losing his parents in a tragic plane crash, Andre was taken in by his aunt and uncle, who have since become his primary support system. Andre inherited a considerable fortune from both sides of his family, giving him the freedom to live a life of luxury and financial independence. He's undeniably a ladies' man, so much so that a CBS promo for the soap even dubbed him the Playboy. So, let's talk about his dad. Viewers have been very vocal with their opinions and suggestions on social media. Some took notice of how Sean Freeman, who plays the role of Andre, bears a striking resemblance to actor Larenz Tate. Some even thought the two were related in real life, but that's not the case. Now, fans have gone on to theorize that Tate could make an appearance on the show as someone related to Andre, and some even think that coming on as his father would be a huge plus. We know Andre's dad died in a plane crash, but what if there was a twist and he didn't actually die? He could have been living with amnesia somewhere. Or, what if the show decides to show some flashbacks or a dream sequence? Tate could fit right in there. Even Freeman likes the idea. He shared a post that mentioned the resemblance between the actors on his Instagram stories, which amassed 2,000 likes on Facebook. In the post, Freeman wrote, "At this point, I need Larenz Tate to be considered for the role of Andre's dad. You know, if there's ever any flashbacks or daydreams on the show, cough cough." Tate is a popular American film and television actor. He is best known for his roles as O-Dog in Menace to Society, Anthony Curtis in Dead Presidents, and as Councilman Rashad Tate in Power and Power Book 2. Ghost. So, would you love to see Larenz Tate on Beyond the Gates? Photo credit: Quantrell Colbert, CBS, C. 2024 CBS Broadcasting. Little is known about his parents, other than the fact that they died in a plane crash. Since then, Nicole and Ted have taken on the role of parental figures in his life. Some fans suggest that actor Larenz Tate should play the role. The role of Andre is played by Sean Freeman, whose television credits include recurring roles in Finding Happy, Tales, Bound, No Perfect Love, and Boxed In. How bad is it, Kat? Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of September 8 to 12 involve the end of Chelsea's kidnapping, Leslie being blindsided, and Haley being fed up with Bill pushing her aside. Here are 3 more moments that are on our radar. Derek has had it rough lately. He might not regain the use of his legs after getting injured during the triathlon. But it's not all bad. Ashley is right by his side, taking care of him, and she made sure Shanice took charge of his physical therapy. But the Thursday teasers say Derek is harboring a secret. Pure speculation, but could he have regained the full use of his legs? And he decided not to tell Ashley or any of the other medical staff? Is he about to use his injury to his advantage to keep Ashley in his vicinity? It's the soapy thing to do. By the end of the week, Chelsea is free and she's safe, but she has experienced a tremendous amount of trauma. And that stays with a person for a long time, especially if they don't get therapy or any other form of help. On Thursday, Chelsea shocks her cousin with an abrupt decision. She could decide to delete all her social media accounts. Allison had a certain perception of Chelsea because she followed Chelsea on social media. She watched and obsessed over her posts and thought she knew everything about the purse designer. But she didn't. She only knew what Chelsea put out there online. She didn't know the real Chelsea Hamilton. If this is what happens, how will Kat react to this development? Speaking of Kat, on Friday, the junior detective witnesses a couple of somethings she may wish she hadn't. The teasers suggest that Kat spies 2 duos in close moments, and she's upset by both. Could one close moment involve Tomas and Eva? If it does, you'd think she'd be happy to be rid of the guy. Kat and Tomas do not easily connect on the dance floor or the bedroom. Who do you think the second duo could be? Leslie and Ted? If this is the case, she will feel beyond betrayed. She despises Leslie, so how would she react? Would she unload all over her dad and her enemy? Would she tell her mom? Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of September 8th indicate that after a week filled with reruns, new episodes will return. Chelsea Hamilton is rescued, while Haley Hamilton is fed up with playing second fiddle, and Derek Baldwin has a secret. Chelsea Hamilton's rescue beyond the gates spoilers for the week of September 8th reveal that despite Chelsea's kidnapping taking a violent turn, she'll eventually be rescued. With that said, Allison's fate in the aftermath of all this seems uncertain, and she'll make a bizarre request midweek. In other news, Chelsea will make a quick decision about a situation that catches Catherine "Cat" Richardson off guard. Speaking of Cat, she'll catch some close moments between two duos and get upset over both of them. Does she see Eva Thomas bonding with Tomas Navarro? Will she potentially see Nicole Richardson and Carlton Fitzgerald flirting up a storm? Across town, Haley will be done with Bill Hamilton continually pushing her aside. It's clear that this Chelsea kidnapping situation has drawn him and Danny Dupree closer, and it will rub Haley the wrong way. Meanwhile, during the week of September 8th, Naomi Hawthorne will see something go down between her parents, and she won't approve. Will the two share a hug, or more? Lastly, Danny will turn to Vanessa McBride and confess her feelings, which sounds like Ms. Dupree still longs for her ex. Whatever Danny says has Vanessa running to see her current love interest, Joey Armstrong. Beyond the Gates spoilers imply that Leslie Thomas will feel as if the rug has been pulled out from under her this coming week. It looks like this has something to do with the stunt Ted Richardson pulled during the week of August 25-29, where he promised her his family home. Regardless, Eva will see a new side to her dad, but will she like what she sees, or will she be disgusted? As the week progresses, Ted confronts Nicole when he isn't given a pat on the back for his efforts. Finally, Tomas will be asked to battle the Duprees, but will he agree to it, and will it be Leslie and Eva who ask him for help? Elsewhere, Derek will be keeping a secret. Could he be lying or exaggerating about his condition? As the weekend hits, something will prompt Ashley Morgan to make a bold move. As the week wraps up, Bradley Smitty Smith and Martin Richardson will reconnect, and another Fairmont Crest couple will also get closer. Who could this other couple be? Fans will have to tune in to find out. In addition, Samantha Richardson will scheme, but will this be for the greater good of her family or for another reason? Kat and Jacob look like they're in serious trouble. After this week of repeats, Beyond the Gates finally gets back to business with more intense drama surrounding Chelsea's kidnapping, Doug witnessing his wife in Joey's arms, Nicole showing her displeasure with Ted, and a dejected Leslie crying to Eva. Here is the video preview for September 8th to 12. This week on BTG, Joey doesn't mince words with Vanessa. "I have no problem lying to Doug if it means bringing you back to me where you belong," the casino owner explained. As Joey and Vanessa are practically in heat at the casino, Doug walks in and witnesses his wife with Joey. And Joey witnesses Doug witnessing them. Elsewhere, Nicole is livid. If Ted thought giving his house to Leslie so she wouldn't move across the street from Anita and Vernon was a superhero move, he'd better think again. "You need applause? Here you go!" Nicole screams at her soon-to-be ex-husband. Of course, Ted didn't take into account that Leslie would go to the house and humiliate Nicole before he ever got the chance to tell Nicole about his plan. What is wrong with him? Cut to Leslie crying to Eva, presumably over whatever Nicole said to her. It's hard to feel sorry for her after she purposely went over to her mansion to throw her out. However, teasers for Monday suggest Leslie is blindsided. So is that what has her feeling so defeated? In more pressing news, Kat, Jacob, Isai, and Madison are on their way to get Chelsea. Kat's FaceTiming her family, saying, "I'll text you the address," when it looks like they may get into an accident. "Jacob, look out for that truck!" Kat screams. Will they be okay? Finally, Chelsea is in a dire situation with Allison, the kidnapper, who's attacking Chelsea with a big ol' knife. Chelsea is beyond over this woman. "Crazy-ass butch, I've had it with you," she yells. Will Jacob, Kat, and Madison get there in time? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? The hits keep on coming for Leslie. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Monday, September 8th, 2025, pick up where we left off on the drama. Leslie will be blindsided once again, this time by a situation she didn't see coming. Leslie will get the rug pulled out from under her. She was upset when Vanessa informed her that the people she's buying the house from won't allow her to close for 3 months. The family has to find a new place to live, and the house isn't ready to go on the market yet. As always, Leslie is a very stubborn woman. When she wants something, she sets her mind on it. She was determined to get her hands on this house. However, Vanessa told her that she can't get the keys to the house. Leslie doesn't want to live in her tiny apartment anymore. Will she have to stay there longer? If so, what will she do to get the house of her dreams? The hostage situation involving Chelsea continues. We found out that Allison was the kidnapper, who wants Chelsea all to herself. This time, it will take a violent turn. However, BTG fans wondered if the soap had already spoiled its own cliffhanger. The new promo video already showed what happens between the two women. Allison could end up in an orange jumpsuit, as she ends up in police custody. So, who ends up getting hurt? We're still interested in seeing how this drama will go down. In the meantime, Eva will see a new side of her father. Ted wanted to offer Leslie a house because it has a home office. He even offered for Leslie and Eva to move into this home. Maybe that's why Eva will see her father differently. She might be touched by his thoughtfulness. However, his involvement with Leslie could cause more trouble than it's worth. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.